Thanks once again for your company. The details now. For nearly 2 years, children of the Abuonte Municipal Assembly Basic School near Asante Mampong have been learning under trees after a rainstorm ripped off the roof of their classroom block. Now, amid that plight, an assemblyman is accused of exploiting the situation to process and sell wood after securing a Forestry Commission permit in the school's name. Now, residents accuse Amiao Idrisu of engaging in illegal logging and lumbering over the period without providing a single piece of wood for the school's re-roofing project. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has more.
It was early 2017 when the roof of the 3-classroom block was ripped off by rainstorm. Academic work and other activities here at Abuonte MA Basic School were thrown in disarray. Teachers and parents had to look for alternatives. The obvious option was to conduct classes under trees. Here are chairmen of the Parent-Teacher Association and the School Management Committee, Kwesi Odru and Kweku Chami, respectively.
We all met and agreed to send a letter to the Forestry Commission to be able to have lumber to roof the school. But our assembly member has not brought even a single lumber to the school. In fact, he hasn't accounted for any of them. We met the headmaster in connection with the rip-off roof. I must say that the headmaster is just a teacher here. We must make sure that things are done right for the school children.
Atanya Akon is headmaster of Abuonte MA Basic School.
I accompanied him to the forestry department because of the rip off of the 3 classroom to re-roof it again. That's why the director asked to give us what permit. But Lord and behold, we wait and wait and wait. We couldn't get permit until Mr. Duku brought the letters, and we find out that the man has collected a permit and used the permit.
He says all efforts to get the school roofed have proved futile.
I went to MCE office and narrate everything to him, and he told me that contractor will re-roof it again. But last time they came here and told me that about 3 weeks he will complete everything. As at now, so today we are now reopening the school. So by this week, I have to go to his office and know either he will come to our aid to re-roof again or not.
This is likely to continue for months if nothing is done about the situation. This is the forest reserve where Mr. Idris has allegedly been felling trees ostensibly for the school project but diverts the wood. Eyewitnesses confirm the assemblyman's activities in the reserve.
I cultivate my crops just close to the bank of the river. And it was the assembly member who came to cut down the trees. I came to meet them.
Joy News went in search of Mr. Idris. In his house, the news team was told Idris was on his farm at the time. His son, who was asked to go inform his father about the visit of the news team, returned about 10 minutes later to say he couldn't find him. Repeated attempts to reach him on phone failed. All the calls went unanswered.
At 26 pesos for 60 days and subscribe at 65 pesos for 30 days. The number you called has not answered.
Joy News came across these wood boards in his house. We, however, were unable to confirm if they are from the forest reserve. Attempts to speak with the forestry officials at Mampong to verify the permission granted Idrisu to fell the trees from the forest reserve also failed. District Director Samuel Opoku told Joy News he was on a trip to Accra and so was unable to give us any information. Subsequent phone calls made to him as a follow-up to the request also failed. Immediate past Assembly member Isaac Kwekuduku is contemplating legal action to seek redress on behalf of the children who have been left to study under trees.
So I don't see why people should sit under trees when somebody has got the permit to make the balls for the school and it's being sold to the community and other people without the balls going to the school. That's my concern. What I intend to do is to inform the public that this is what is going on here. If nothing happens after this interview, we see the next line of action to take.
Mohammed Nuruddin's reports for Joy News.
Hashtag bring back our tardy girls. This campaign is gathering momentum, and I'm sure you don't want to miss out on mounting pressure on the powers that be to find the 3 Takoradi girls. Here at Multimedia and at Joy News, we've been speaking to everyone concerned and related with this particular story one way or the other. My colleague Koje Yankson, for instance, has spent the last 72 hours in Takoradi engaging families of the victims and police on the story so far. Here's the latest story he filed as we intensify the push for these girls to be found and reunited with their families.
The Western Regional Police Command is handling perhaps the highest profile criminal investigation in its history. The 3 cases which together have come to be known as the Takoradi kidnappings.
This is not just an ordinary case being investigated. Normally, if you look at the international arena, kidnapping cases are done by professionals, people who actually know what they are about. So when we are investigating cases of that nature, you must be articulate. Go step by step. You don't rush. If you rush, you sidestep a lot of things, and you go to court, they can throw your case away. So it is important to take time. You know, the affected family, they will be thinking police is not doing anything. But you realize that everything police is doing doesn't mean that we should go into public domain or even to them and tell them that this is what we are doing. It is never done anywhere. But in our social setting, the best thing we can do is that maybe once in a while we visit them, reassure them. That is what I have been doing. I invited them here at least twice, just to reassure them that we are on top of what we want to assist. So we are doing our best for the rescue of these children.
Well, I believe by now you've come across our hashtag bring back our tardy girls. Well, if not, here are some of my colleagues calling for the return of these girls.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Maybe I'm missing a Nigerian New Yorker son of
There's a lot of emotions going around. For the parent, it's sadness. Well, mine is not. It is anger. And I expect you to be angry. The kind of anger that is required for state agencies to act swiftly. In the meantime, we're still looking for the girls. See something, say something.
Our thoughts and prayers at this moment are with the families of the victims. And we also call relevant state agencies to expedite action, double the effort to ensure the safe return of these girls.
Imagine the agony of losing a sister or a friend. Where is the hope? Where is the love? See something, say something. We need to find our girls.
Imagine waking up one morning with a dream, with a hope, and then sometime during the day, somebody just kidnaps you, and all these dreams are extinguished. This is what has happened to 3 young girls in the Sekedi Takoradi metropolis. Their families are agonizing, their communities are distraught, and the nation is seriously looking for them. We need your help. If you see something, say something. Bring back our tardy girls.
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 Do well to join the campaign. Hashtag Bring Back Our Tardy Girls is trending on social media, and you may just want to join that campaign by sharing some of the artworks we've put out. And if you have any information on the whereabouts of these ladies, kindly inform the nearest police near you. Now, marginalizing the physically challenged in our society remains a major challenge we continue to deal with as a country. In spite of the discrimination, there are some physically challenged persons who are not given to the effect of the name calling and stigmatization on their person. The story of McLean Atu Didianyo is worth telling and emulating as we advocate a fair and friendly environment for persons like him. Joy News' Kellyanne Seayo has more in the following story.
A kinky seller and a farmer in Ashoman, Greater Accra region, McLean was a highly spirited child, always playing with his friends. But little did he know that his childhood days were about to change.
I was a young boy walking, playing with my colleagues, and I've been following my dad to the farm. And then by then too, I've started school. And until one Saturday morning, I was feeling headache. So I complained bitterly. And then my parents took me to the hospital. I was admitted, and then the doctor came, examined me, and then wrongly injected my vein. So after the doctor injected me, I could not stand again. When they lift me up, then I fall. So my lower limbs got paralyzed.
However, McLean didn't let it stand in his way.
It got to a time I have to leave the house and then fend for myself at that tender age. As time goes on, some people were so helpful to me. And so out of that, I enrolled into my Begzi school, went to my senior high, and then completed Accra Technical University, and I did accounting.
After graduating from Accra Technical University with an accounting degree, McLean faced rejection in the corporate world due to his disability and couldn't get a job, as some firms said their buildings were not disability friendly.
Getting a job was very, very difficult. You approach this firm, you write application letters, you call, they'll interview you, but at the end of the day, I'll not get a job with this excuse from the human resource managers that the infrastructure or where their offices is not accessible to a person living with disability, especially with somebody like me in a wheelchair. After going around looking for a job and didn't get it, then with my determination and also like not to be a burden on somebody, I decided to do something else. And that something else was to enroll into sports. I fell in love with wheelchair racing and then wheelchair tennis.
McLean, now an internationally acclaimed para-athlete, is training for the Tokyo 2020 qualifiers and continues to use his sporting skills to encourage other people with disabilities.
I have represented Ghana internationally in so many countries, and I'm a 3-time gold medalist in Desert Challenge Games. I won a gold in 2014, 2015, 2016. We do all these things to tell the public and inspire other persons living with disability that we have got some capabilities within us. All we want is equal opportunity, and that is when one can see the unique talent God has instilled into us.
Indeed, for McLean, disability is definitely not inability. Akofa Siayos reports for Joy News.
You're watching Joy News today with me, Bernice Apubedulansa. Still to come, death toll in the Shangjian mine accident hit 16. We'll take you live to the Upper East region where the incident occurred for the latest. And Ghana's premier teaching hospital, Kolebu, risks being shut down by March 31 this year if it fails to secure license from the Health Facilities Regulatory Authority. We've got details of these and more. Do stay. Thanks for staying here on Joy News today. The Minerals Commission has ordered Shanghai Mining Company to suspend all mining operations in Bani in the Upper East region following a mine accident Wednesday. 16 Galamsey miners have died as a result of a blast that occurred underground. A survivor of the blast told Joy News they had been warned of an impending blast from a neighboring mine operated by the Shanghai Mining Company Limited. He, however, said many of the Galamsey miners, numbering about 500, ignored the warning because they felt the impact will be minor. Upper East Regional Correspondent Albert Sori has been to the Bolgatanga Hospital where he witnessed one of the miners being wheeled to the mortuary. Here's his report.
Today I traced to the Bolgatanga Hospital where some of the bodies had been deposited, and together with some relatives of some of the deceased who had come to try and identify their bodies, I was able to ascertain that 12 people had died as at around 2 p.m. today. And before I left the hospital, I also witnessed the 13th body being wheeled to the Bolgatanga mortuary. We witnessed relatives of some other people who were still on admission in the emergency wards of the hospital, trying to help save the lives of their relatives. We did get to speak to one of the survivors of this mine accident. He gave us his name as Victor. He did indicate that they had been pre-warned that there was going to be a blast, and this warning was coming from a security guard, he said was coming from Shanghai Mining Company Limited, which we know has been working in the area for some years now.
The time they told us that they would do blasting. As for me, but I knew I feared the smoke. So when they told us that, I went up and I went and hit some places. So after the blasting, I went and hit in some place. So after I left the pit. I went and hit some place. So maybe after the blasting, I came and I saw the smoke and I said no. When I switched off my torchlight, it was not fair for me to go. So I said, I have to remain for hours to see whether it will reduce or not. I stayed for about 2 or 3 hours. Still, the smoke was still there. Then I said, no, how this smoke is, I can't go with it that way. So I just left.
So how did you end up in the hospital?
I left because where I was the smoke was also around, but it wasn't serious like from the inside. So I healed some. So the people told us that I shouldn't say because I wasn't part of those who were unconscious, I shouldn't come to the hospital.
We also spoke to Dr. Patrick Atobra. He is the medical director at the Bolgatanga Hospital, and he took us through what has been happening since people started being brought from this mine accident to the hospital.
We had a total of about 11 people this morning. As at now, some have been added. I think about 4 or 5 have been added. 11 in the morning, and we lost 3 of them, and 3 were brought from outside. But we learned that there were some more dead at the mine site. In the hospital, we lost 4 of them. I think from outside about some 6 or so have been added.
So the police say they are still doing their investigations, and when they conclude their investigations, they will officially speak to us on this matter, hopefully to confirm the number of casualties. But the fear is that as the days go by, the death toll from this disastrous accident could rise. My name is Albert Sorry for Joy News.
Albert Sorry is our Upper East correspondent, and he sent in that story, and those were the details we had as of yesterday. What we are learning today is 3 more people have died, making the death toll 16 now. He's currently heading to Bani. We know we promised you a live interaction with him, but unfortunately we are unable to raise him on the lines. When we do so, we'll bring you all the details. Now, Joy News is learning Ghana's premier health facility, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, has no certified license to operate as a health institution. The hospital has up to March 31 to get the certificate or risk being closed down. This was reviewed by the Health Facilities Regulatory Authority during a tour of some private and public health facilities in Accra. There's more in the following report by Matilda Bemega.
The inspection of private and public health facilities in the capital forms part of a nationwide exercise to halt the operations of unlicensed institutions for non-compliance. In the case of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, they have no license from the regulators. CEO of Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Daniel Asari, says they have started the process to get one.
Medical and Dental Council, for instance, is now bringing the Gazette, for which all the names of doctors in good standing will be published, for which we'll be able to certify those people who have been. So we are in a process almost halfway to the certification. Everything is going to be done to be able to get the needed accreditation.
The situation was no different at the Lekma Hospital, as the facility also operated without a license.
We are in the process of registering with HIFRA.
Has it taken Lekma so long to do the registration?
Well, I wouldn't say it has taken us so long. We have known about, or we have been reminded about the importance of being regulated with HIFRA, and it's in our plan of work for this year. So.
The inspection team also checked on the Gokals Optical Branch in Osu, which is also operating without a license. But at the Akai House Clinic at Cantonment, the facility had a license and met a requirement of the regulators.
Until the HEFRA came on the scene, the public hospitals were regulated by the Ghana Health Service, and they did it very creditably. So it's a new law which is bringing them under HEFRA.
So it means since 2011 you had the mandate to regulate both public and private facilities?
Correct.
So why is it taking so long for some of our public hospitals to be licensed?
Regrettably, there was a bit of a lull between 2011 and 2017 when the new government came on. And so it was in April 2017 that HEFRA really started working. Before then, even the board had been dissolved and all that. So the main work has started because we are only implementing what the law says. So and we couldn't have done it whilst we were not present, which will be about 2014. Exactly. But during that period,
so it means
there were problems in HEFRA and they dissolved the board.
So it means from 2014, these facilities, if I'm correct?
I've been looking after them, yes.
In answer to your question, Ghana Health Service is doing something, and the private hospital and maternity homes was doing another thing. There's a situation now where we have equal standards for both public and private, and it's just expedient that one body does that kind of job rather than having two bodies regulating health. That would really not be there.
What are the timelines being given to the facilities that do not have the license?
We said by 31st of March.
Okay. What is going to happen to those?
We will keep that under wraps. But they risk being closed, and we have said that over and over again.
HEFRA operates under the Ministry of Health and is mandated under the Part 1 of the Health Institutions and Facilities Act 2011 to license and monitor facilities for the provision of public and private health services. For Joy News, Matilda Pumaga, Accra.
Away from the health sector, in order to reduce post-harvest losses in the country, especially in the Upper West region, 7 warehouses are being constructed there. The need for the warehouses came to the fore after the implementation of government's flagship Planting for Food and Jobs program, which has spiraled the production of farm produce in the region. Joy News' Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
Lack of storage facilities for the agriculture sector to preserve farm produce and eliminate post-harvest losses has been a ritual nightmare for decades. The canker has rendered many farmers in the country less productive and sometimes threatens food security in the country and also reduces its export. In the Upper West region, however, agricultural production has more than doubled due to the introduction of the government flagship program, Planting for Food and Jobs, in 2017. Total land area cultivated in 2018 alone has increased from 21,133 to 98,291 hectares, translating into an increase of 268 metric tons from 45,648 to 314,553 in 2018. Silos and receptacles are used by the farmers in order to preserve their farm produce. However, these obsolete ways of preserving the farm produce is unable to contain the several thousands of metric tons cultivated. Government, under the Planting for Food and Jobs program, is therefore providing 7 warehouses in the Upper West region with a storage capacity of 1,000 metric tons each. One of such sites is located at Bulingi in the West District. Construction of the warehouse was awarded to Sambex Limited last August and expected to be completed in February 2019. The project is, however, behind schedule owing to some constructional challenges. 45% of work has so far been executed. Engineer Asadi Nanjo is the project site supervisor.
The contractor is claiming that since we prepared payment certificate for them, I think they've only received payment just last week. Okay. So that is why we've even resumed. We resumed about a week ago. We are going to put pressure on the contractor to live up to, at least if we cannot finish by February, but it should not exceed March.
Upper West Regional Minister Alhaji Suleiman Al-Hassan expressed satisfaction when he inspected progress of work at the site.
We are impressed with what you have done so far, but will urge that if you can quicken the pace a bit. And you claim you were not paid, now that you have been advanced something, I think if you add that to your own resources, you can make up an impact of the project.
The minister also made similar visits to 2 private warehouses belonging to an agribusiness giant and the 2013 second runners-up national best farmer, Alhaji Antiko Abdullahi.
Now we are tripling the production figures. Last year, I think we were able to fill only 2 warehouses. This year, 4 big warehouses are full of meat, seed, and grain. So one of our demand will be warehousing. If government can support the private sector like Antigua Company to get bigger warehouses at vantage points so that it will help seed production.
Alhaji Suleiman Al-Hassan assured him and other private companies working in the field of agriculture of the support of the government. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Bulingi.
Coming up, government denies forcing pension fund managers to invest in the Ghana Amalgamated Trust. Emmanuel Abwajewiafe has more in business. Do stay.